everyone, welcome to another jungle coaching, this one for Platinum and this one for Bel'Veth versus Nasus. Now this is an often requested jungler. Hey Virkayu, do Nasus jungle. And I'm like, well, you know, I did it back in Season 3 when Meteos was doing it in the LCS for Cloud9 and getting a 12.6 KDA with Zac and Nasus in the jungle. But that's a long time ago and he's really not been a viable one since then, if ever. Now, someone in the comments is going to be like, yeah, but I once played Nasus jungle in, Silver 56 in 2017 in about July, played 3 games of it. That's not viability, my friend. Viability is something that can actually be played at a decent level against the meta. So, let's see how we do here. When scouting this, it was such a Platinum level pick because obviously there's downside, right? And the downside you're seeing here, what's the biggest thing I talk about in coaching at the moment? And that is cross timer. See, I asked a question and I realized I can't hear you. So I'm just going to answer it for you. It's cross timing, right? Blue side into red side. When we cross this mid lane wave here, what time do we cross that? Or if we're doing red side and we cross into the blue side, what time are we doing that? Now, Bel'Veth at this particular moment is abusing the fact that the victor will have prior over the Anivia, or at this point it just does. Sure, doesn't matter. Does. So, red side quadrant into the gank through here. Now what happens is the Nasus Virkayu.gg's comprehensive courses will give you all of the up-to-date information you need to climb on your MMR. This is all in addition to our powerful one-on-one coaching and access to the coaching VOD library. And for those of you who want to escape the elo that you're in, because obviously, let's face it, you want the next step, the Jungle Improvement PDF has been released on my site for absolute free. 37 pages of jungle terminology, exercises, and tips to help you carry, win, and climb, take your potential and convert it into reality. Immediately when you're an off-meta jungler, this is the problem. This is why as soon as I see or know or have any inclination that the Bel'Veth started this side on this red, I'm reverse clearing if I'm Nasus. I'm reverse clearing if I'm Zyra. Against the Bel'Veth, you damn straight that's what I'm doing. You know why? Because it gives me the ability to go blue, red, get this Krugs, because we can now, loop back around Fiddlestick style, drag the Raptor camp into the bush. The Bel'Veth says, gankings, crossings, off-meta junglers going this way, weaker junglers going this way, invadings. And then, of course, hey, pushing pig, mais cochon, and then floats on up and kills said pig. So we avoid this by just simply doing a reverse clear. You follow? Now, what the Nasus has done instead is obviously just a prototypical regular first clear. And I love the eyes-up approach of the Bel'Veth saying, hey, listen, screw that. This is so gankable and free because we have double cannon waves, which means it's not quite crashing so that the gangplank can actually walk into the wave a little bit, but at the same time, do we have the damage to kill her? No. So if I can just draw out some pressure for the gangplank, that's absolutely fine. You know why it's fine? Because I know the Nasus is a non-factor. I know he's a non-factor. Now, would I necessarily go for this gank myself? No, because we just don't have kill threat, right? But I like the idea and I like that that's in the Bel'Veth's mind versus just AFK farming. You know what I mean? So in coaching, we can always talk about, hey, was this a good gank? Was this a bad gank? All the time we assess these things. But I like when your mind suggests, I like when your mind's in the right place. Does that follow? I like when your mind's in the right place. So let's just have a quick look here at the Nasus, for those of you who are actually curious what it looks like to clear, because obviously that's what we're here for. So, Bel'Veth goes topside, that's great, Platinum Gaming, nice action, abusing the fact that the Nasus is not in a position to do anything. If he has a queue up for one of these babies, typically they'll go for that as they drag it out, and obviously the cooldown is, just over 5 seconds here, so we're looking at having it up again easily by the time we need to kill the red. But make sure you have your Q farming tool, your implement, ready to go when you want to kill the camp, right? Obviously. So, Bel'Veth shows was 12 CS in red, goes top lane, translation getting excellent. I personally prefer running into the jungle here. Now what Nasus does is say, hey, it's 333. Now, in a few other videos that I watched with this guy, 2 things happened. 2 possibilities that he had. 1, full sequence. In this case, imagine he's blue side, right? Use your imagination, you can do that. Up to the blue side. We have the Udyr on the other side. The Udyr obviously is going to full clear 10 years faster than Nasus, sometimes 9, sometimes 11 years, a lot of years. And so what happens is you can just invade the Nasus on the grump with your top prio, if you've created it or if you have it, irrelevant. Point is you have it. So what Nasus should do here is actually just bounce. He stays and fights and dies. Leave. Give up the top scuttle, it's over. If you path in the same direction, if you're off-meta jungler and you're slow, just leave. We can flex immediate backings into the outside and we'll take in this one, and potentially ganking bot lane should it be pushing, because we have Ghost plus Wither, yes? Also, remember that E shreds armor, so it's kind of useful in those scenarios, but the Wither is why we gank, the Ghost and the Wither. So the issue is obviously in that sort of environment is that we have the Udyr sequencing, right? Doing this. He knows at this point, if you got leash bot and went up and you don't show, he went back to base. Like Nasus went back to base. So the Udyr will drive by mid, gank it, push it, rotate, doesn't matter. Just steamroll through it and go straight for this. So do we have Prior to fight it? Can we fight it? No. None of the above sometimes, which means you just have to go and chill and do nothing. So that's the downside. The other thing is he doesn't do that. He just fights and dies. And then you're playing behind. So the other two replays I had, I was just like, these are useless. So this one I like because he actually recognizes, hey, Bel'Veth's top side scuttles up. I know Bel'Veth's on her blue side. Let me go ahead and try and cut my clear off to do the crab. Now, as we can see, and I don't think a genius, yeah, perfect emote. I don't think a genius was necessary. I think we all knew that the guy was gonna die. And you know what, again? Spread it to the Bel'Veth. That's it. Goes to the Grump, right? Valuable edge camp, because that will respawn now sooner, right? So if the Bel'Veth goes straight for the blue here, right, from the top lane gank, we translate, we go straight for the blue, we come down and do the blue ourselves, right? Then we go kill the Nasus, then we go chase the pig. You know, now we're like, oh, should we go for bottom scuttle? And you leave these camps. If you've left your level 1 Grump and level 1 Wolf camp up, don't want to do that, right? So we take the Grump. So if all of that happens, I know the next time I'm topside, I'm going to have a level 5 Grump spawn. Happy face, right? That's a good thing. That's what we want. Now, we obviously translate this once more. Let's press play again to chasing down the pig, the cochon, and no mana. Previous gank, nice. No flash, obviously. Ego Sejuani top lanes with Ignite TP in this elo, abuse them. They have no idea how to play the lane. They have no idea how to use top macro. They have no idea how to play safe, play intelligent. You can really abuse the Sejuani in this elo top lane if they're very clearly not a smurf, right? And now we can fall back to this, and now we can fall back to this. And why would Bel'Veth do this, okay? As Nasus does this. Now, obviously, we're doing the Nasus, right? But if you want to talk off meta and you want to talk Nasus, you got to talk everything. You got to talk, how do we make this champion work? And that's what I'm good at, because I play Ornn and Zyra. And I did some Cassante, which was way worse than Ornn. Even when he was broken. Way worse than Ornn. You don't do it. Save yourselves, all right? The Zyra is actually working very well. I'm like Flame Horizoning 250 LP Silas's. I mean, it's a Silas, but you get the point, right? It's still funny. Right? Like, you know his ego is damaged, which is the whole point. So if you're Nasus here, you're not going to have that same prowess as even like a Zyra or a Morgana. But he does a 5 camp, runs into the river. What should he have done? Just finish the Krugs, reset, go bottom lane. Again, same thing. Bot lane's pushing, right? Look at this. Now, we wouldn't have timed it 458, although I'm going to be honest with you. Once I watched this full clear with the crab, the Krugs and a crab one time, he might have actually been perfectly aligned for this, which is the benefit of your slowness and randomness. You'll end up when laners don't expect you. Like, you'll be ganking at a time where they think you should be gone, but you're showing up because you're like, hey, I'm Nasus. It took me 10 years to clear. So those things are always interesting, right? As long as you understand them. Now, because we do this and cut in, it's dumb because we know that we have top prio for us. So we could fight this. But do we even win? And will she rotate? Or is she busy doing her lane? I mean, it's better just to go, hey, look, I know Bel'Veth's here. There's no point. I lose, right? So go somewhere else. Now, what the Bel'Veth would expect is most likely the Nasus, upon death, goes straight to the bottom lane, gives up the Krugs, and the sequence is up again, right? But he goes to his Krugs, which is silly. The Wither itself burns a flash. A good gank. Nice gank. I like the gank. Now, why is it a good gank, especially in this moment? Ladies and gentlemen, if you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen I said how to gank top lane effectively one time so that it wins every game. I'm sure you're interested in that. Go to my Twitter. Now, excuse me. The whole point of this, right, was 5 minutes to 5 minutes 30. That's when the solo lane is, boom, are gonna ding 6. So if we can gank pre that 6 ding, and stop the ultimates, huge, especially against an Anivia, right? Especially against an Anivia. And of course, we were tracking most likely the fact that she had no passive because she's already died. So we know she has no passive. The wings upon her HP bar are gone, so we know we can gank this. Now, what the Bel'Veth was most likely expecting is the Nasus to come out of base upon death, snack this baby, maybe gank this, maybe gank this. So she's like, I'll just take these things in sequence down. Nasus goes to Krugs, runs all the way down here, loops into this, right? I don't like that. I don't like this because this is like a little J cut, right? You're coming down, imagine you're typing a J. What vision are we circumventing, right? What vision are we circumventing on the map here? None. We're just doing Krugs because it's the thing on the map that we should go to. So when you're an off-meta jungler, your sequencing is so damn important because you are slower at it, so you need to be more efficient at it, and you can beat people like the Bel'Veth who don't do it properly, except in this game, the Bel'Veth is doing it properly. So that's nice. Now the Bel'Veth sees this. Now if you're smart, you say, right, I killed the Nasus at, let's see, I killed the Nasus at 20 CS, so 5 camps. I would not assume this was up. I'm going to be straight honest with you. I would not assume this was up. I would assume that the Nasus was doing random things. I would still probably check. Okay, but at the same time, my eyes are definitely now more set on the bottom lane as a meta jungler, right? Definitely something I want to do. So we're going to go and check this, and Nasus is able to smite it. Remember, you want to smite it because you want to stack your Q. What are we at? 84. I remember the old days when it was like super low stacks per Q. So for me, these inflated numbers really get me going, especially seeing as they changed this and buffed this a while ago, you know? 12 against champions and large minions and monsters. So, yeah, that's a high number for anyone who's retro Nasus jungle. Although back then there were techs where you wouldn't even stack the E, which is max E and things like that, obviously. Nasus is a fun champion that's been around for a while, and I'm happy he has relevancy still. So basically the Bel'Veth goes for this. Again, benefit of hindsight, sure, but I usually don't like to waste time on things I'm assuming are already gone. Yeah. So what happens is the Nasus now will say, cool, nice, nice. We're going to go to this. Now we can J-cut reverse, right? So the J-cut, it's in the jungle PDF. That's free. Link below, virkayu.gg. Straightforward for you. I define all my terms and jungle philosophies. It's just the shape of a J. So now imagine Grump, Wolves, Raptors, and then hook yourself into this. Now in the boot camp that I'm having at the moment, someone's like, actually, Virkayu, that looks more like a J. And I apologize. I don't mean to mock you, but sorry, more like a hook. I don't mean to mock you, but it was actually so true that it's more like a hook path, and I kept saying it over and over again, so I might have to adjust the terminology, but J-cut is what we're going for. It was a Joker reference, Mr. J. Yeah, it is what it is. So in the meantime, obviously, let's watch this play out. So the Bel'Veth, you see, this is exactly what I was saying we could do. We see the Nasus go down. We know we go boom, boom, boom. Or if this is absolutely prime gankable, we go down here and we can gank it, and then we can fall back to our camps. But we do the Raptors, Krugs, get 5, see this, they overcommit, huge ass wave. Where we force the flash with a W, we gap close this one, we have the damage reduction from our E, we have the Sucky, we have the GP6 ult again, timing it from the 5 to 5 minutes 30 to 6 minute timer. We avoid all of the deaths from the minions by repositioning nicely. Fresh. In the meantime, Nasus is obviously farming it up, boy. That's what he does. They always make the jokes about farming with Rost. They should be making the jokes about... I mean, look at this. Like, I'm faster on Cassante. Okay? I'm faster on, like, nerfed Cassante. This is hilariously slow. It takes so long to come online. You're coin flipping every game, which is why imagine the universe where he gave up everything he had to give up, right? Go watch the main channel video. 9 mistakes, 9 good habits to develop, all right? I've tried... Marketing. Essentially, it's 9 great advices for season 13. And the advices is an Arnold Schwarzenegger reference from Pumping Iron, for those of you who are interested. Right. Okay, so normally we'd be done right now. Normally, if we had just given it up, taken the outside rule, gank bottom lane, sequenced again, we'd be done with these Krugs. These would be level 1 Krugs, but we'd be done with them. And now we could be primed for this gank, as the Bel'Veth is obviously committed to this bottom side. And that's something I think is huge when you're off meta, because if you can take... It's almost like entrepreneurial spirit, I guess. You know, you give, you ask, you give, you ask, right? You're always giving value, in this particular case, you farm, you gank. You farm, you give, you gank. As long as you keep farming and giving what you need to, the gank and the opportunity will present itself. It's do you recognize it? Now, we did not recognize it here. There's no flash in the GP. We know we can abuse this, obviously. If we finish the Krugs and come straight for it, we could have done it, but we didn't, right? Back to base we go. Get the Sheen, get the Ionian. Huggies. Full build, basically. Now, you can stay out for a while now. Just farming. In this particular moment, now, I'm worried about the Bel'Veth. Can we top lane? There you go. Shows, falls back, comes down. So the Nasus should press tab, see Bel'Veth, whatever it was, right? Say it's 30. You goes back to here, shows bottom lane 38. All right, I know you did Raptors, I know you did Krugs. Okay. Ganks bottom lane, fists bottom lane. If you see her top side here with the red buff, you know she also did the red. You know, so you can keep tracking the numbers. Again, the exercises will be in the jungle spreadsheet. So we know that the red is down, but if we were timing it like an intelligent off-meta jungler should, when we see the Bel'Veth level 4 here on the Scuttle Crab contesting with us, right? What we do is we go back to farming and sequencing and basing coming back down again, but we know it's been over 2 minutes 15 since I saw the Bel'Veth. So maybe those Raptors and Krugs are up. So what we have here is the ability to say, I know you gank top lane, I know you're going to fist this Herald in the eyeball righteously, so why don't we just take this, and maybe gank this? Oh, again, like, Again, I don't know what happens in these games. I'm just saying what I think. I don't have the F key activation because I'm in replays trying to show you the champion and show you the map at the same time. So if you were F king and you saw this while doing that, you actively decided to go up and contest, why? Boom, boom, boom. Or just boom first and then dragon. At worst case, right? If you're a regular jungler like an Elise, that's what we're doing. Or you do this and you go boom, boom into the jungle. You can look back around for the dragon. Depends on your comp, your laner's reset, and how strong you are feeling in the moment. I mean, as we reverse here, you see this, right? We could have taken this and just looked for this knowing she's going for that. So we had time to be here for this play with our Wither. You know, and we have an ultimate available as well. So instead we decide, hey, let's contest this coin flipping scenario. And what we're going to do here is she's going to snack that, get the 300 gold from Essex all of a sudden. And then we're going to fall back down, protect this from the invasion of her tentacleness. She's going to W us, go into the Victor stun, and we're actually going to, we'll get the bonk. She'll die, we'll get the bonk. We have the Soraka ultimate from the bottom line. See the damage already coming through from the Sheen plus the stacks we have? Now we're online. So now you're going to say, but he won. What are you talking about? It's a good result now, right? It's a good result to contest and win if you know you can win it. Is this something I know categorically I could go ahead and win? I don't know, man. In off-meta situations against the Bel'Veth, I would much rather snowball my bottom lane, again, bottom lane meta, so most of you agree with me on this, deny 2 camps, get a dragon, that's a mountain, that's huge for us, and obviously fall back to our bottom side quadrant and give up the Herald. Now in this particular case, it's about that, so you don't want to give up the Herald, we don't want to give up the Void Fishes, we don't want to give up the plates. But at the same time, she still got it. Yes, we killed her, but she still got the gold, she still got the Herald, she's still gonna get the plates. And in the end, yes, we got some cash money gold, but she's gonna show up here, after Victor's rotated, lost his sum, she's gonna get the kill, she's gonna shove it down here anyway. So don't look at the result of one play and say, hey, that's a good decision. You gotta look at the decision in the moment when you made it, and assess it on its merits before the result, okay? But however, thus, you know, whatever transition word you would like to use, if you are fed, and you know they're on the Herald, and you know you can rotate quickly, and you know you can win. For example, you're level 9, they're level 7, you're level 10, they're level 8, you're level 6, they're level 4, yes, by all, please, contest, kill, take, and then you go straight into the jungle, take everything else. That's killer instinct. In this case, we don't have the killer instinct because we're not ahead, right? Now, I would assume that the Anivia is going down here because obviously the Bel'Veth is down here. Is the Bel'Veth doing the dragon? No, it's likely she's doing the dragon. Trying to sneak it away. Soraka is now cutting into the middle here for some strange reason. With silencing, we're going. She doesn't have a passive, so we get the kill. Here we see hello Bel'Veth. She went straight for the objective. She picks up the true form. Now the Ashe is out of position. We have the Wither button. We have the ultimate. We have the E for the armor shred. Ashe will die, and so will Bel'Veth, but she has a Q, so she lives. Oh. She dies, and then we take this. So now Bel'Veth has basically decided to do platinum things, which is coin flip objectives. And Nasus has decided, I like your coin flip, I raise you another coin flip. And what they're both doing is saying, I'm gonna start this, I'm gonna contest this. Hey team, join if you want. So, once you start getting into plat, you cannot make those decisions. Look at the main channel video for more examples on this. I talk about it explicitly from a meta and from an off-meta perspective, Zyra Versailles. And as well, talking about what you showcase an image of me not giving up a Herald, I die. I didn't get the Herald, I just straight up died. Like, I also do it sometimes. Everyone does it. You know, sometimes you try to get a cheeky thing and the risk is now 60-40 or a little higher, you know? Like, you can't always be risk averse either, right? You can't say, look, I'm only going to take things that have 0% risk. It's not how League works. People are allowed to react and rotate. So risk assessment, I think, is the biggest thing if you're an off-meta jungler, right? If you can become an expert at risk assessment, taking good fights, good contests, good rotations, while having good sequencing, you're gonna poggies every game. Now, of course, the Wings of Doom and Resurgence are not available, but she does have flash this time, so Victor lays down the law. No. The Q and the laser went through. I was like, you should stay on the other side of the wall, just in case she flashes out. Anticipation players and so on, but yeah, I didn't. It did not be working out like that for her because it all went through. So we are at now 261 stacks. And again, what did I say? You can stand for a long time. And I don't know or follow too many Nasus Challenger 1 tricks in the jungle at the moment, if there are any actually on major servers. So all I know is from the champion of my time playing it as well, I played a lot of junglers, Sheen and Ionia, baby. Off we go. And like we're sitting at 3.5k almost once we finish these Krugs. So we're not exactly going to be in this situation, you know, where you know, please be 3.502. I like it when my brain works. Sorry, it's you know, I do so much coaching. It's just really fun when things work out like that. Hopefully you agree. I'm sure when you do your VOD review and you predict something and it happens, you're like, nice. Or you should be. You should celebrate that. Whatever elo you are, do your VOD reviews. Try to do those things. It's really good. So that's just inherent 3.5k. We're staying out a long time. We don't really want to go fight with that much gold. But this is a solid game from the Nasus's point of view, right? I didn't want something where he's getting turbo stomped like those other ones. And the reason is because he... See? Platinum Sejuani top laners. You can never trust them. I play Sejuani too. I play a lot of chambers, but I play Sejuani too. So yeah, not so good. Now, the great snacking of the objectives from the Bel'Veth, but obviously did not expect the platinum rotation potatoes. So the fact that we got them is great. If they rotate and we come when the fight, it's best to leave and not die. Both times we died. It was better just to try and get the Herald. We could have gotten the Herald and gotten out easily, I think. And Dragon, likewise, we get it, just peace out. Don't let your team die, just run away. If you don't think you can win, right? Because being alive is most important. The 3 deaths from the Bel'Veth have really hurt it, because we're the same CS. Oh! Nasus jungle. We have reached 14 minutes. We have 6,200. We have Divine Sunder, Ionian Boots completed. We have 4 stacks left on our must stump, but for some reason we're going way too deep. We have the TP from the pig who has decided, screw top lane, I'm out. There you go, my friends. And what does Bel'Veth hate? Everybody in the chat? What does there's no chat. Comments? I mean, like, I'm aware of what happens, but it's still surprising when it happens. What was my question? Goodness gracious, I'm shocked by the Q damage. The Nasus jungle has reached 327. Ah, right. What counters Bel'Veth? Good things that I remembered that. Burst damage. Rengars, Elises, Nasus Q, anything that can just kind of get through that damage reduction such that it doesn't really matter that she has it, right? Because you just boom, and it's like, okay, well, shit. So burst damage is what we want, right? We don't want sustained damage over time against something with 70% damage reduction. Boom! We're stacked up, baby. 339, and now we are coming online. So, if you imagine you're playing Nasus jungle, and I would not be angry if I saw you guys playing Nasus jungle and platinum and below. Because if you listen to what I'm saying here about the give, you're gonna get the get. Very easily. And the get for us was free crab, free second sequence, free gank top lane. Free push prior, free stacking, free played. If Bel'Veth shows down here, free counter jungling grump, free base. Now straight out of base gank bot lane, cool, full back, this, redo the sequence. We give up this, sure, but we gave up that anyway. You know? And we give up the dragon anyway. So yes, we got kills, but that's obviously results-based. We don't want to be results-based. But why would you go adventuring? So now at this point, the Nasus is reverted to farming while his map is accelerated in game state, and so he's not present. And the big thing about the junglers in this elo, once you reach the stages, please try and be present as much as possible. Don't revert to sort of AFK farming. Your quadrants too much, because now you're going to cause this spacing, right? You're here, your team's here, and there's just a chasm between you, right? If you imagine, hey, I'm a galaxy, and then like, hey, we're galaxies, and you're like, well, the super void and dark matter, and it's like, right? You know, it's a whole lot of nothing and a whole lot of shit that doesn't interact with the electromagnetic spectrum. So why would you want that between you and your team? I don't know. Be more connected. Stay baryonic matter. There you go. That's what we're getting at here. So obviously now that Ezreal is over pushing mid lane, and we're basically saying, boom, resequence it this way. Don't ever do that. This is stupid. Hold top lane, push top lane, take tower. If your pig isn't there, boom, 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 snack it. Can you beat them GP 1v1? Beat him 1v1, and then beat the shit out of the tower. This person shows up here, we cut in, we fall away, cool. Out of base, now we can decide to go bottom side, or we can go straight to the top side and contest, because now we've pushed a tower, gotten the tower, killed the GP, gotten a shit ton more gold, and now we're already building into our next atomization choices. Obviously, you can go the Frostfire tech. That's an old school one, but that's long since dead. Like Divine Sunder is the way to go, especially with hyper penetration. You know, considering we got physical damage, we got magic damage, and we have an ADC who's grossly out of position. I'm gonna play this. I'm playing this later. I mean, I've been playing Zyra jungle, my main. Might as well play some Nasus jungle too, right? Bring her back. Maybe I'll bring out the Rengar as well, although that might take me a bit more warming up. I have like 2,000 games of Rengar, but you know, it's been a while, you know, since I've taken the 1A carry role. I prefer being like 1B carry role or second option. So, yeah, but this is hilarious. Now, you're asking from the Bel'Veth's perspective, what could I have done better to annihilate the Nasus? I think the first invade to push him off of red and just kill him. I think that's the biggest thing. See, this tower should be dead from Nasus's perspective. We have 3 people pushing mid lane. We'd have no wings again. Just Q Stomper right there. And now they're going to push down mid lane here. Now, remember, if you're the Bel'Veth, this play was a good one. Against when Nasus jungle was buffed originally, and this would have been, shit, I want to say it was season 8? 9? Must have been 8, I think, because I remember I played Kayn against it specifically. And everyone's like, hey, we can play Nasus in the jungle again. And what I would do is Kayn, I would just 3-camp invade, kill him, take his stuff, cut across, crab, cut him, invade and take this, and then gang bottom lane. Then I'd loop back this, back to base. You like get 3 levels up by like 8 minutes, you know? So against Nasus jungle, you do have these abilities, and Bel'Veth is one of those. So that's how you annihilate the Nasus as an aggressive jungler, as a Bel'Veth, as a Kindred, and so on, right? Like that's what you want to do, 100%. Nasus, in the meantime, bumped a little bit too much, but here we go. Uh, 522 at 20. This beat of the marker. Used to be way harder to get 500 by 20. That's all I'm gonna say. 2 levels up on the Bel'Veth now, and the Bel'Veth is just coin from the objectives, which we should not have done. See, here's a damage reduction. Just also burning her down with your passive. 1 more Q, but we get Seraphine, but we get Ashe. Don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. Oh my goodness gracious, the lifesteal, the flash is burned. The Soraka ultimate, we're gonna get chased down and killed now, aren't we? We have doomed ourselves. Yeah, that was not so good. So here, the problem with Nasus is once you get late game, you get kited. So if you're in a not so good position, you die. But that's not a Nasus jungle thing, that's just a stereotypical Nasus thing, right? We've reached the point in the game where it does not matter that we're Nasus anymore. And that's the good stuff, right? Q into the W, into the E, into the cancelling, and then into the Q, into the auto attacks, and then Victor's just like, and then Demix somewhere is having extreme pain. Rank 1 EU West Bel'Veth, I'm gonna tag him in the video after this one, so. Yeah. That was not enjoyable. But you definitely need to be more aggressive against the Nasus. But if you've reached this point as the Nasus, okay, you're definitely going to start to pop off. And of course, you're not a jungler anymore. You're just the Nasus. So what do we want to look for here? We have Herald push mid lane. We've got 3 dead up, 29, 8, 10. So 2 are up here. We want to make sure they do this and back off. We don't... No. Catch, shove, full, cut in, full back to this. If your team cannot cut full sequence entirely, make sure you're basing and ready to kind of get back into this zone. But if they all go bot and die or whatever, you can always just kill people. But push the wave, hold the wave, absorb the experience. It's just dying to the map. You're Nasus, right? Stacks experience, stacks experience. The best thing for you to have is an experience advantage. Yes, gold is great, but experience advantage. So make sure we snack that wave, snack those stacks, take the Krugs. You watch them here. I don't like running down mid lane at all. Like, I know you might be saying, why didn't you just go down mid lane? Well, they're all going to be respawning, there's no point. So the randomness of my team, he's actually rotating here, which for me is silly, right? We could just be hard shoving this. Like, not even Krugs. You can just push it, do Krugs, and just keep going. Push, right? You got Sejuani on the bottom side also pushing. No inhib mid. They have to deal with 3 waves now. So basically, by shoving it this far up, you're going to force a rotation here. We can base. And then do we need to defend or do we need to do this? But ideally, we're not giving away free Baron, right? But I don't like the fact that we love base, did Raptors, and just walked on down here. And now we're like going in here. I don't really care how strong you think you are. You know, your Victor's dead, now you're dead, your Soraka's basing, your Pig is basing. That's just straight up terrible platinum macro. Don't do it. Don't do it. Respawn, please, Mr. Doge. You should easily lose Baron for that and lose the game. Like, I don't like it when people... I want more people to lose from these things, right? Because now there's a dragon up. They have 2. We need to start stacking, and obviously we want to get that the 4 stackings of the fire dragon here. Will we secure it? Yes, we do. And like, just give it up, man. Victor's not chasing the Bel'Veth. She dies as well. Okay, so definitely a platinum game is occurring on my screen. I think a platinum game is occurring on your screen, but this should be a free El Baron. Do we need to watch them? Can we do the Baron, please? Thank you very much. Free Baron. Yep, they get the Baron, and now everyone bases, and I guess we got one more team fight. So you're seeing the weaknesses, the pros and cons of playing something like this. Hopefully you can understand exactly what you need to do in order to win these games with an off-meta jungler. But from the Nasus' perspective, you definitely have a good time. Sorry, hit the mic. Farming, much better in Season 13. You can scale better. You have the Moss Stomper, which is amazing for us. And as you can see, once you get to 12, Sheen Ionian, Divine Sunder Ionian, those are great break-even points for you to know I can do things. But if you know what to give up, and you're not being punished by another jungler, enough, then you will be absolutely fine. But just learn to avoid, take 2 steps back, give, and then find your window of opportunity when the enemy jungler is somewhere else. Don't necessarily always coin flip run objectives. There's a lot of things you can get equal and opposite. Because equal and opposite on you as you scale is better than on the person who needs to win before you become the monster. And that's the important aspect. So hopefully you understand these concepts. Worth sending a message for. Nice W for the Nasus. It's not necessarily a 1v9 pick, but it is a damn fun pick to play. You can see the pros and cons. Bel'Veth should have done a lot of things, and I think coin flipping the objectives instead of just eradicating Nasus early was the mistake. Thank you very much for watching. Virkayu.gg has your one-on-one coaching, your courses, your coaching VOD library, other fun things there to do. And as always, I will see you all in the next coaching.